By the way, yesterday, right? You know when you text me, and you said I fucking had the heart attack when you text me. I was like, because I didn't know what the fuck was going. You were like, your first text to me was like, I need your advice or your help on something, and I was like, oh, fucking, I was about to ring you. I was like, oh shit, what's happened? Like, I was fucking panicking, and then you fucking sent me that picture. I was like, you fucking joking me?
Well, you feel I was gonna send you a picture of my kids chopped up next to barrels.
No, I don't know what was fucking going on. I was like, fucking hell, and then you sent me a picture of your fucking like uneven gamer score. I was like,
Well, I don't know why you're laughing about it in hindsight, because that's actually a much more serious problem than you probably expected.
yeah, true. That is, yeah.
So it was actually relatively simply sold. That game I sent you, I recommend it because it's a 1,000 achievement game and it's only like £2.
Right.
And every single achievement, bar two that are 34 and 36, all of them are 33.
It's so stupid.
Obviously, I know.
Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you must do that just to be a dickhead, just to have uneven.
Blatantly, people do it. They'll make one of the easiest the sort of achievements that pop up and you can't avoid.
Yeah.
Just for starting the first level, they'll pop up and they'll be doing it just to make you want to just try and make you play their game.
Yeah. It's fucking yeah. Like I said, it wouldn't happen to me. I had to fucking buy a game online and get one achievement for one gamer score. Like,
I was looking at how to do it, and everyone was saying about this game, and it's hard to get hold of, and it's and people were saying all stupid achievements, and I just came across that one by complete luck.
Well, the thing is as well, because as it's gone on, they've stopped doing that sort of thing. So it's like you say, it's either that game or it would have been an older generation game, which would have been that would have been a pain in the arse.
I worked out what game it was that gave it to me.
What was it?
It's that I don't even remember fucking playing it. Is that Overcooked thing?
What? There was an odd achievement in that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because I was scrolling through my achievements.
We played that at ours.
Yeah, I know. It was fucking ages ago, and I think I had 61 gamer score on it. Yeah. So it was obviously that one that fucked me up.
Yeah, that's a fucking pain in the arse when that happens. It's ridiculous.
Well, like I said, I'm keeping that game in my bank now, because then if it does happen again, I've got a good 900 something worth of gamer score that I can get.
Yeah, true.
Those achievements, they've clearly made that game a game for people to buy when they need easy achievements that are going to level it out.
Or just to be fucking bastards.
The achievements I got were finishing the first level and you're just some little ninja jumping over barriers, dying 20 times, or failing the level 10 times and failing 25 times.
Right.
So I was literally I bought the game, turned it on, finished the level, and then just held the joystick and walked into a turning saw blade like 20 times.
Right, yeah. Yeah. That reminds me, did you ever do that when we were playing GTA 5? Did you ever do the I can't remember what the fucking cult thing was called. It was like taking the piss out of Scientology.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish that storyline?
Yeah, I did. By the end of it, aren't you like walking out into a desert? With
you have to walk. You have to walk in the game. You have to walk. I think it was something like 5 miles, like in the desert, but it took fucking ages.
I remember doing that actually. I think I just sellotape my thumbstick.
Yeah, that's what. I just had to do an elastic band on the fucking thumbstick, just to get him to keep walking around in fucking circles. Fucking shit like that's fucking stupid. It's fucking people that make uneven gamer score, fucking can't stand it. Does my fucking head in.
No, ban it.
It's one of my gaming pet peeves. Is that fucking ridiculous? But we got some stuff to talk about. I mean, what do you want to talk about first? We could talk about this Joe Brand thing. That's quite recent. And this is fucking mental. So if anyone doesn't know what happened, the comedian Joe Brand, she made a joke. I think it was on radio, was it? Radio? Was it BBC Radio?
It was definitely BBC, and I think it was radio, yeah.
Yeah, Radio 4. And she made a joke basically about, because obviously we talked about it before about like Nigel Farage and that getting milkshakes thrown on them.
A wasted milkshake, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then she said, what was it? Here we go. Why bother with a milkshake where you can get some battery acid? Right now, I read that for the first time, and I find that quite funny. Like, I laughed at that. I just laughed at that.
Yeah, right. Again, I heard it as well, and I can literally quote something that you said. Well, I was going to say last week, but it was a week before the last one we done, and you said, in the right context, You believe that anything could be funny in the right context.
Of course it can. That's the whole point
Right.
of a fucking joke.
She's a fucking comedian.
Yeah.
He had a milkshake thrown at him, which is funny enough, and you could almost say it's funny watching anyone get a milkshake thrown at him, but never mind the fact he's a complete prick.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
But
and also what makes off in the article as well, then they show a picture of him covered in a milkshake, and that just makes it
Yeah.
even funnier because you just
Yeah.
see him, his stupid little face just covered in a fucking milkshake.
the
That's funny.
thing that bothered me about it, and right, different people, different tastes and whatnot. I haven't got a particular problem with her, but I'm not really the Joe Brown's not my sort of comedian anyway. I don't
No,
find
yeah,
her.
same with me. Like I've seen because she used to. I don't know if she still is because I don't really watch that much TV now. But she was on a lot of. I remember seeing her when I was younger, on like a lot of like have I got news for you and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But that was before really I started watching like proper stand up. So I don't know. I might have seen a little bit of her stuff, but I've only ever seen her on that sort type of thing.
yeah. But I mean,
And she was
she's
funny
not.
enough. Like you say, she's not. I'm not. I wouldn't say like I'm a fan of hers, but from what I saw, she is funny.
Yeah, she's not. That's what
But
I'm trying to say. She's not one of
she's a
them.
well established comedian.
You'll get them sort of comedians you hear about them, and you hear their name, and you think, "Oh, do you know what? I fucking hate her." I got a problem with Joe Hunt, Joe Brand. I just don't find her particularly funny. But yeah, upon hearing that, I would admit she did make me chuckle, and that was a good one on her part. But one of the first things I read in a story afterwards was something which actually came into my mind first. So the journalist obviously picked up on it, which was, hang on a minute, you got a milkshake thrown at you. You're clearly pissed off about it, just like I would have been if I'd had it thrown at me. But you're calling her out what I think what he quoted her as, not quoted her, what he stated she was doing was the trust taker called for was it inciting violence.
Something like that. Like
Yeah, so basically encouraging violence towards him. And I'm like, hang on a minute. So she's made this, unless you're suggesting that she was literally encouraging
yeah, like
any
telling
viewer
people
or
to go
hearer
out
to
and throw
pick up
battery
battery
acid at
acid.
people. Yeah,
Just like you were stating back in 2017 that, and again, I'm quoting him directly here. This is something that he said. He stated in 2017 if Brexit wasn't delivered, then he'd pick up a rifle pretty much and join arms. It's like, hang on a minute. Quite clearly, you're not going to go and pick up a rifle and join arms because you're a fucking weasel.
Mm.
But I wouldn't for a second say, hang on a minute, but he said he's going to pick up arms. Of course he's not going to go and pick up arms. He's saying it's like metaphorically, he's saying it for dramatic effect. She's a comedian. She's trying to get a reaction from it. She clearly got that reaction because she got 450 complaints to Ofcom. But
the thing is, I don't even think she was doing it to be like because there's people that say things to be controversial, but I don't think she was saying it from what I can read into it. Like it doesn't seem like she's saying it to be controversial. It seems to me like she doesn't like the politician she's talking about, and she's making a joke about it. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like to me she's gone out of her way to be controversial. Like, because at the end of the day, like you say, it's a fucking joke. Like,
yeah, I mean, let's put it in this light, yeah. So this is regarding the man who's had a milkshake thrown at him. He's a complete dickhead as a matter of opinion, which is my own, but I'm sure some people love him, which is why he's got the most seats in our country in European Parliament. But you're talking about a scenario where he's had a milkshake thrown at him, and she's then someone who's made her career and her money by making people laugh. Not so much myself, but clearly enough people, because she's a much more successful comic than me or you.
Yeah.
She's then picked up on it and made a joke about, well, that should be battery acid. It'd be a very different story to be telling here if this had been back a couple of years ago. Do you remember when that MP, Joe Cox, was murdered?
Yeah.
So someone goes and stabs her outside in her constituency, and then if she'd been putting out tweets or radio broadcast then saying, "Oh, one down, 749 to go." Okay, that's different.
Mm.
You're trying to impose that on a situation where someone's actually been actively killed. That's inciting violence.
Yeah.
Making a joke about him having milkshake thrown at him, but it should have been battery acid. That's something that's been said for comic effect, and it clearly worked because she got 450 complaints for it.
It's a fucking joke, and it just pisses me off because people just go like it becomes something way more than it should be. Like, and
that's
you
what
see
I mean.
this.
I nearly made it 451 complaints by complaining that people were even allowed to complain about it.
It's fucking ridiculous. Like, and the thing is, it annoys me because it does piss me off though because it works on both ends. So like, you'll get someone, or say because I mean I don't know her, but obviously I would say she leans probably more on the left side of like politics and stuff. but you'll get someone that maybe leans like. Have you ever heard of the person called Count Dankula? Did you ever hear about that? What happened there?
It rings a bell. You have to.
He basically taught. He's a Scottish like YouTuber, and he taught his girlfriend's dog to like do the Nazi salute when he said. I think it's when he's like Sieg Heil. He said that, and the dog would like put its paw up, and he like videoed it. But the only reason he was doing it was to wind his girlfriend up.
Yeah.
Like when he was at home, he was teaching the dog to do that, and he got arrested for it. He's meant to be going to prison for it because he wouldn't. He basically just they said, right, well, you pay a fine and you won't go to prison. And he was like, no, I'm not paying it because it's a fucking joke. And like people on both sides come out, like people like Ricky Gervais supported him and said, well, it's freedom of speech. Like it's not his problem if you don't find the joke funny. He's not doing it to well, because people were calling him a Nazi. I mean, that's people's go-to thing. That he's a Nazi, but it was a fucking it was a joke. Like whether or not you like the joke, you don't have to like the joke, but it was a joke. It's the same with this. Like it was clearly a joke. She's clearly not telling people to go and throw battery acid at people. Like, and what makes me laugh is that we're at that point in society where people think that that we're so influenced by what celebrities say. The people think that people are just going to go out and do it. It's like it's a fucking joke. Like I think we need to learn how to take a joke again. I think that's been lost in the age of fucking Twitter and all this stuff and all this cancel culture. I think we've forgotten how to take a joke.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about people. There's no doubt that celebrities and people who've a lot of influence. They do influence people by putting their opinions out, whether on Twitter or broadcasting. But it takes me. It actually reminds me of a film I saw the other day. A film that I've seen many times because I find Trey Parker and Matt Stone so funny. But Team America: World Police.
Yeah.
And do you remember the Film Actors Guild with Alec Baldwin? And,
yeah.
Where it's basically said about, I'm famous, so I should influence people. Now, she's not using her position to try and influence people to throw battery acid on him because if that happened, she'd be in prison.
Yeah, exactly.
If she wanted to be influencing people to go and throw battery acid on him, it would not be a one-liner on a radio show in a comical context. It would be in a very different light. She's not someone trying to. People who have big followings do have power they can influence, but that's not one of them situations where she's doing that. She's a fucking comedian.
It's been blown well out of proportion, and it's all about news, isn't it? It's all about getting clicks.
So I mean, why are we not blowing out of proportion the fact that in 2017 said he was going to, I think he said, join the Don Khaki and pick up a rifle? Of course, you're not going to pick up a rifle.
This is the problem, like, and I think we've said it before. Like information, there's so much information that gets passed about nowadays. Like when something small, and this is fucking small. When something like this happens, it blows up, and it's just like, fucking get a grip. Like it's a fucking joke. Just leave it. But I will say it does work on both sides. Like you can't pick and choose. Like because it's annoying me on Twitter. Like you see it on Twitter, people coming out like other celebrities, like she shouldn't have anything. She shouldn't be investigated by the police. And she shouldn't be. 100% she shouldn't be because it was a joke. But then it works both ways. If someone on the other side of what you think makes a similar joke, you should be saying the same thing, because at the end of the day, it's all about freedom of speech. It's not just a case of, I agree with this person, so I should say that. No, if you agree, you shouldn't. It's about freedom of speech, and it works both ways, and that's what's winding me up. Like, should she? Yeah, like I said, no, she shouldn't be investigating the police. These people that are complaining need to get a fucking life. Like, she's done nothing wrong, but then there are other people on the other side of it that don't do anything wrong. But people pick and choose, what seems to be all right and what seems to not be when people do the same thing.
Yeah, it's trying to create turbulence.
Yeah, that's all it is. And again, like I said, it's all about just fucking getting clicks and all this shit. And it just, it's something that's so small that it's just been fucking blown out of proportion. But I think, unfortunately, that's just the world that we fucking live in. So, I mean, if anything, it's just going to encourage more people to throw fucking milkshakes and shit at people now.
Well, no, not milkshakes, battery acid.
Well, battery acid, yeah. I mean, if you really want to hurt someone, no, I'm joking.
But on a serious note, to any of my followers on here, thinking that myself or Josh are inciting violence, saying you should throw battery acid. If you want to do that. But I think that's a very bad idea, because there's actually much more cost-efficient ways of scarring his face than with battery acid.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's quite difficult to extract it. Yeah, if you're going to do it, just Yeah, just go on something called the dark web. You'll find a good load of stuff on there. But that's what I say.
But yeah, it's just fucking.
In the words of Hagrid, I probably should not have said that.
Not if you get famous, people will bring it up. You'll get cancelled. You have to go and live in the woods.
If Joe Brown can get famous, I can.
So there's another story that you sent me because I've seen the picture, but I haven't seen the story. So this is about a cat filter on. So do you want to say? Because I haven't. Again, I sort of said, I saw the headline, I saw the picture, but I haven't read into it. So do you want to explain?
Okay,
because the picture looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. So right, I'm not as tapped into Pakistani politics as I am sort of domestic politics, so I don't know what they're actually talking about. But the gist that I got of it is the discussion these politicians were having in the parliament in Pakistan was quite a serious one. They were having two-sided debate, and then basically what I'm trying to say is then it's not one of these situations where you accidentally flip onto BBC Parliament and see three MPs arguing about whether you should be sued for someone's cat gun in your garden. Yeah, they're having a serious conversation, and yeah, you just look at the picture and someone who was in charge of the broadcast online. This is someone. This wasn't a member of the public. This is someone within their own party and within their own government. Accidentally applied like a sort of Instagram cat filter to it, one of the live filters, like a Snapchat one.
Yeah.
And then you can just see it. You would have seen the picture. You just see him sitting there, and it's just the irony of the sort of body language and the gestures you're getting from their face. And in these videos, you can see they're having a serious conversation, and you can get heated on both sides. But he's sitting there with fucking whiskers and ears on his head.
It looks fucking ridiculous. Like it looks so weird. How quickly do you think the person that was in charge of that got the fucking sack? Like
I think they got the sack a lot more quickly than they realised it was happening, because it was going on for quite a few minutes apparently.
I mean, that's mental. It looks so ridiculous. And that's appeared on a fucking political broadcast. But you know what's even funny is like that's nowhere near the embarrassment of our fucking government, so it doesn't matter really. Mate, I mean, if they did that to the debates in this country, I might actually fucking watch them. If they put a load of different, if you could choose, like if you're watching it on TV and you could just choose the different filters that you wanted to watch it through, have fucking like someone do a face swap with fucking Boris Johnson or some shit like that. But that's fucking funny. The picture's so good. It's like, because the bloke looking at it, because obviously I don't think he can probably see what's going on. But the moment they've captured to put on the article, his look is just like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
There's a few different pictures because the filter hit a few of the different frontline politicians there, and I mean the one picture I'm looking at now, I don't know if you can see it. If you scroll about halfway down the page, it's shared by someone on Twitter, Mansour Ali Khan.
Yeah.
And on that picture there, what got me about that one is you can see the bloke in the middle. He's clearly talking about something important. He's got his colleagues around him. And the bloke to his left with these ears and his whiskers and his little mouth, he's just staring into the distance. And if I had to caption it, I'd put something like, whiskers, don't mind if I do. It could be an advert for cat food.
Hell. It's just also the fact that in that picture you just said about the cat ears and that aren't even on the bloke in the middle of the fucking picture. Like it's just, that makes it even funnier for me. It's just some bloke at the side. It's got some fucking cat ears and whiskers on. Fucking hell.
You were just asking for jokes about being corporate fat cats.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, that's fucking funny. Like that definitely livens up probably the debate. Can you imagine? Fucking hell, that's fucking funny. That really is funny.
Have you scrolled down right to the bottom? There's two smaller pictures shared by someone, Naila Inyat, and the actual guy in the middle, who I think, I don't know who he is, but the guy in the middle, he's reaching out some papers like he's stretching his paws or something. So they just fit in. Some of the pictures.
Yeah, that's fucking funny. That's brilliant.
But yeah, they're probably the person who done it is probably rotting in the same cave they found Bin Laden in right now.
Probably. I was going to say, that's not going to have gone well for him. But Jesus Christ. So another one, something else you sent me was fucking. I mean, this in this day and age, this is mental. So this Year 9 Celebration Assembly Awards nominations. So this is an article on the BBC, and this is a list of well, there's a load of awards on it. So there's like best year 9 teacher, best couple, biggest strap or strop, biggest
Oh, that's a strop, yeah, biggest
strop,
ego.
most
But I mean,
irritating habit. I mean,
right, just to be clear here, things were starting to move faster in terms of technology when me and you were in year 11, 10, not so long ago, year 9, 10, 11. But it wasn't at the stage it's at now. Now, in this day and age, this is something that could be quite easily formulated and put together by pupils and put out. This wasn't put out by pupils, yeah? This was put out by a teacher in the school
yeah, of course
who
it fucking was.
sent all this out to year 9 students to vote for. Like, there's this long list, and you can create your own category. And best year 9 teacher, biggest strop, best couple, most irritating habit. I mean, right, let's overlook the comedy of it here, because it's clearly just, it's one of them things where afterwards you're going to think, why the fuck did I think that was a good idea? But in all seriousness, and me and you will both know this from things that we saw happen at school, I'll just pick one of them out of thin air, yeah? Most irritating habit, yeah? Now, I won't name any names. Within the group of people that me and you were within at school, had that been sent out at our school, do you think it would have been that difficult for us to pick out the name of an unfortunate person who probably wasn't in our friend group and voting for the most irritating habit of smelling like piss or being a tramp or something?
Yeah.
Like, you're just asking for trouble, and then you can even nominate your own categories. Like, people are going to be, and the scary fact is that you could probably actually get a valid vote for this because it would be true information. But you probably get nominations for gives best hand job at the park or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's fucking but obviously what everyone's kicking off about is the fact it says that they're asking for the best looking male and female. Now,
like, fuck off to the prom, like prom king, prom queen.
like, yeah, I mean, like I said, in this day and age, how you think, like you said, how you think this is a good idea, I fucking don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could type this up. Surely you must give it to another member of staff, and they must go, "Are you fucking having a laugh? What are you doing?" Like, you can't put that. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, just don't do it. It's also fucking year 9. Like, they're not leaving school. Who gives a fuck? They've got like 2 more years left at fucking secondary school. Do you need a fucking awards?
I say this as someone who had more friends in year 11 than I did in year 9. If this had come out when I've been in year 9, I might have been at the bottom end of that. I could have fallen victim to,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could have had, like, create your own category, like, who has the best fits. Who does the best flip flop? Louis Robinson. But I mean,
who's? Oh, we could have put a category for you. Who's best at having a mum who's the grumpy school secretary? Josh Dale.
I'll let her know you said that.
Don't delete that.
cut that bit. But I don't know. Like I say, but this is the thing as well. Like, this is what winds me up, because you get these sort of things like, oh, year 9 celebration assembly. Why do we need to celebrate? What have they done? Have they actually done anything to be celebrated? It seems like you give kids awards for fucking everything nowadays. Like, when I was at school, you didn't get awards for, like, the kids will get awards now. Like, so if they turn up to school, right? When we were at school, you fucking went to school. That was your choice. You either went or you bunked off. They're at school right now. If you get 100% attendance for a certain amount of time, you can win a fucking iPad. Like, isn't it the fucking law that you have to go to school?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's this. I mean, it's so.
Or at least give them something more cost effective. Like, maybe the highest attendance boy and the highest attendance girl get to go on a date with the voted best looking teacher and best looking female teacher, and from this said poll. There you go. They'll go on a date. They'll go on a date with them.
At some schools, that's probably fucking happened. To be fair,
Mr. Parker.
Yeah, he was my form tutor.
Oh,
he was a fucking creep. Like, he was, like, there's not words to fucking describe him. He was, he just made your fucking skin crawl, that bloke. He was fucking greasy as fuck, and he was just a pervert. Do you know, right, once, right, we were sat there, I think it was around Christmas time, and we were sat in our tutor room, and I can't remember what happened. Like, either we decorated the room a bit, and another tutor would come in and like ripped everything up. Like, all right, whatever, shit happens. It's kids, isn't it? But he burst into because I think they were in the room opposite our room, and he burst in there and had a massive go at him. And then he goes to him. I think he said something to along the lines of, "And I hope you're all sick all over your Christmas dinners." Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, oh,
was he your tutor from year 7 onwards?
He was my tutor from year 7, year 8, and then I think he left after that, and we got because I'll never forget it. We were all sat in the tutor room the day he told us that he was leaving, and everyone just went, "Yeah!" And everyone in the tutor cheered. And then we went off to our next lesson, and the teacher that we had was like, "Oh, he must have sent her an email. He must have done something," because she was like, "He's really upset," like, and we were like, "And who gives a fuck?" Like, he was a slimy, fucking greasy cunt. He was disgusting. Like, and then there was rumours that he was having sex with a kid, like a student there. Like, it was
one desperate student.
It was grim. But the thing is, it was weird as well because then he was obviously just a pervert because he would make like the girls when they used to come in skirts to school, he would make them sit at the front of the tutor room. He'd make them not all get up and move to the front, and it's like, oh, you're just that. It makes your fucking skin crawl. Like, it makes your skin crawl. Like, he was grim. He really was. But like I say, this sort of news story, going back to the news story quickly, is classic teacher. They've got they go through. We always say this because I work around teachers, right? So you always say this. So they go to school, they leave school, they go to college, they leave college, they go to university, they leave university, they go straight into teaching. So they don't go into the real world. They've got no common sense, right? We always say common sense seems to go out the window with them lot. It's just, and this is a pure perfect example of it, because any normal person would write that and think, well, no, I'll probably no. To be fair, a sane thinking person wouldn't even write that, especially when you live in a school, especially in this day and age when shit's going to get plastered all over Facebook and all over Twitter and all that stuff. And it's just, I
don't see how you could have even typed that, let alone printed it and seen it on a piece of paper and thought it was a good idea to send it out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, so we've got two other news stories that we were going to talk about. I mean, I haven't read either of these, so do you want to pick one and talk about
it? One of the other ones. So yeah, not one of the more serious ones, which I've heard. You know, sometimes you hear things being said and you think, oh, maybe that's just a rumor. Mate, I haven't actually heard about that happening yet, and you think it's like sort of all hearsay. And this is one of them things because I didn't know this could actually happen till now. I thought it was people trying to scaremonger, but it seems that for the first time in the UK, a man's been convicted guilty of making a gun using a 3D printer. Now, the emphasis on this is not attempting to make a gun. It seems that he successfully made a gun, and he wouldn't have been able to be convicted under the law that he was convicted under unless that gun was capable of firing a round. But I mean, for a long time I've been hearing about people, if they want, they can go and download blueprints on weapons on the dark web and use it. It's by no means a case of buying a 3D printer for £200, then you can print a gun like that. It's clearly not that simple, otherwise there'd be a lot more people who would have done it so far. But yeah, looking at this little gun, it's just, yeah,
So I just assumed that all 3D printers just printed like plastic.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that's not the case.
I mean, it looks like it's got small pieces of metal in it as
well.
well.
I say, it looks like it's got metal in it, but I mean, props for fucking ingenuity. I mean, I don't know if I'd be able to make a gun out of a 3D printer. Not out of a 3D printer, print out a gun out of a 3D printer. If you made a gun out of a 3D printer, I'd be fucking impressed.
Well, it depends how hard you throw it, really.
Well, yeah, exactly.
If it goes fast enough, it's a projectile. I mean,
yeah, it's mad.
If you get caught with pepper spray, it's a deadly weapon because it fires. It's a firearm they class it as because it fires so fast. So if you throw the printer hard enough, then don't know. Stranger things have happened.
I love that as well. Like, just to throw this in, so when you read down the article, they list like
I know what you're going to say.
and then I love this as well. They also discovered he had cannabis plants, and that there was evidence he was growing them. Not got any relevance to the story. Not got any relevance at all to the story that is being printed. But I love that they just chucked that in. Oh, and by the way, he was growing weed. Like,
Yeah. And you think they put him? They might as well put in brackets. Cough. Look at the top picture. Cough.
yeah.
Mugshot.
There's no reason to.
Like,
put
hang
that
on,
in.
I thought the BBC were impartial. Like, what's Graham Weed got to do with
Using a fucking 3D printer.
making a 3D printer to make a gun?
Fucking hell. That's.
I mean, I think it seems his ingenuity in using the latest technology to make a deadly weapon that could, it seems, fire a shot. His ingenuity doesn't seem to have been matched with his ingenuity in coming up with lies. Because did you see what he said when the police questioned him about it?
I'm just reading it now.
He told the police that it was part of a film project for university. He was making it as a prop for a film project at university. Now, I didn't actually see. I'm assuming this man's doing film studies or something of the sort at university to have said that. But he wouldn't answer further questions about it. And when he did try and elaborate further, he basically said he was trying to make a prop for a dystopian set future in this theoretical film project that turns out was complete bollocks, because he was actually apparently a drug dealer growing weed, as you can see from his mugshot. Cough, cough, BBC. But nice. I actually think it's quite cute looking at the gun.
To be fair as well, like, I mean, he's done well, and it's also, it makes me laugh because at one point it says he doesn't have a firearm license for it. Of course he fucking doesn't. It's fucking from a 3D printer. Fucking hell! Like, the people.
Oh no, they weren't talking about a firearms license. He didn't have a license to print things in 3D.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
You need a license to print in 3D.
He ran out of fucking university credit.
Yeah, you're allowed to do 2-dimensional printing, but you need a license to do 3D.
Fucking hell!
I mean, it does look pretty cute though.
It is funny. Does it say what, or has he not been like sentenced or anything?
I don't think it says he's.
I just want to wonder what sort of punishment he got.
Yeah, so do I. I don't think he's been sentenced yet. He's been convicted, but he's obviously having a sentencing later on. Yeah,
that doesn't say. I'd be interested to see what sort of sentence he gets for that, because, I mean, fair enough if he was trying to make a gun to, like, that could actually fire bullets, but I mean,
I will say though, I am quite curious, and I'll probably do some looking around later on, because I'm quite proud if I made that. Just don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Just come up with a better fucking excuse than, it's for a film project. Yeah, but you put bits in it that can kill people. Yeah, but it's for a film project.
I'm like, oh fuck! Did I click on the wrong blueprints? I was trying to make my boy a spud gun.
Yeah, but I've put bullets in it, so I just fucked up. That's my bad. My bad. I put bullets in it. My bad.
You probably should have put the bullets in it after you gave it to your kid, Mr. Robinson. Whoops.
I don't know. It's just funny to me in this day and age as well that we're at a point where you can fucking 3D print a gun. I mean, that's mental.
It's you kind of look at it. There's 3 stages to it. We've gone from manual weapons like swords and knives. We've gone now to being able to 3D print guns. Give it another 10 years, and I'm telling you, we're going to have like laser beams shooting out of.
Fucking hope so.
But as long as you don't 3D print that laser beam for a spaceship at home, then you'll be fine.
No, exactly. But do you remember it's like that thing? Do you remember laser pens? And people used to say that they were. This, I mean, it's going completely off topic, but you just remind me. Like, and people used to say it was illegal to point them in the air because it might interact with planes and stuff. Like, is that true? Because they must have a range on them. Like a shitty laser.
People would say that.
From fucking Poundland.
Yeah, people would say that. But one thing I do know is, what's his name? That kid in our year. I don't know how he's doing. I remember at college he was. Jake, was it Hubert?
Jake Hubert, yeah.
Jake Hubert. Oh, I miss that kid. He was so funny. Do you remember at college when he used to come in with all this stuff from Deal Extreme?
No.
There was this website. He was obsessed with this stuff. Like, it was like all cheap stuff you can sort of buy from China. And he used to come in with lasers that if you point, they're like green lasers, and if you point them for long enough at black objects, it will start burning them. And I saw him.
Right.
Now, them sort of lasers, I know that they can reach as far as planes and they can cause problems. But yeah, it's them same sort of old wives' tales where they tell you can't point them little 2-pound lasers in the air, and if you put it in your eye, you're going to blind yourself. Because
Yeah.
I was a kid, I put it in my eye, and I can still see. And that's not me telling you to put it in your eyes, kids, because it will blind you. But
like you say, it's one of them old urban legends, isn't it? Like if you fucking Google it, it shuts down or something.
there's only one explanation for the fact I'm not blind, and that's because I'm a supreme being.
Oh, you've got glasses.
Well, yeah, that's probably why I need glasses now. Thanks for pointing.
You were shoving lasers in your fucking eyes when you were a kid. It's had ramifications on you.
I walked straight into that one. Almost as much as I walked to the door without my glasses. But...
So you can't see, that's why.